What's happening, Manhwa champions? Don't forget to leave your feedback and smash that like button. Now let's dive into this epic tale. Chapters 3 and 4 are being combined into one powerful episode to keep the momentum flowing and the story tight. Our chapter opens with our protagonist's reflective monologue. Lee-on. Everyone once said she'd become the greatest beauty in the world if she continued growing up that way. A gentle memory unfolds. Lee-on as a beautiful young girl, wearing an elegant white and yellow robe surrounded by blooming roses. But then, he continues somberly, she suddenly grew large. We see an older Lee-on, now adorable yet distinctly heavier. Lee-on's gentle voice resonates, filled with sincerity. I'll protect you, young master. Our protagonist feels a pang of regret as memories surface. Back then, I never realized how much she cried because of her changed appearance or how swollen her eyes became from tears. Guilt shadows his features as he quietly acknowledges, she sacrificed her beauty willingly. But how did I repay her? Maybe I grew colder to her over time. We see him dismissing Lee-on's offered dumplings with cold indifference. Now filled with remorse, he silently promises her, Lee-on, I swear I'll remove the side effects of the body purification technique for you. Young master, are you all right? Lee-on's concerned voice breaks his reverie. I'm all right, he replies, shaking off his regretful thoughts. No, actually, I'm good. You're acting rather strange today, she observes cautiously. A faint smirk lifts his lips as he acknowledges her perceptiveness. Just like Lee-on, he thinks warmly, always noticing every subtle change in me. Turning confidently, he says aloud, gripping his sword firmly, Follow me. I'll show you something even stranger. Where are we going? Lee-on asks, puzzled. With determination in his voice, he replies cryptically, To flip the dining table. Under the tranquil night sky, the manor stands majestically illuminated. Inside, our protagonist faces several servants with sharp, piercing eyes. Why did you do it? He demands sternly. Pardon? What do you mean, young master? An old man stammers nervously. Why did you poison my meal with energy-dispersing poison? He clarifies coldly, his gaze landing intensely on one trembling young man. The room plunges into stunned silence. Lee-on gasps quietly beside him, eyes wide in shock. I didn't do it, the accused servant protests frantically, his voice shaking with fear. Did you gamble away the 3,000 liang you received? Our protagonist sharply questions, instantly reducing the servant to terrified silence. This boy, our protagonist thinks bitterly, had fallen into debt through gambling. Blinded by desperation, he dared poison my food. I've made a terrible mistake, young master, the servant pleads, collapsing to the ground. Please, spare me. I was blinded by greed. Did Ji-yu personally give you the money? Our protagonist interrogates, teeth clenched in fury. Yes, the servant whispers weakly. Without hesitation, swoosh! Our protagonist's sword slices cleanly, sending the servant's head flying. Blood sprays dramatically, shocking everyone present. The servant's lifeless body slumps to the floor. Shameful, a cook poisoning meals, he condemns icily, eyes fixed coldly on the corpse. My deepest apologies, young master. I bear full responsibility. Cook Lim desperately interjects, dropping to his knees. Why you? Our protagonist questions sharply, turning to Cook Lim. Isn't the fault entirely his? No, Cook Lim insists humbly. Everything in the kitchen is my responsibility. Then, our protagonist counters sharply. Does that mean every injustice in the cult is my father's responsibility? Pardon? No. Never, Cook Lim shouts fearfully. Then stop speaking nonsense, our protagonist declares firmly. Cook me shredded chicken noodles for dinner. He sheathes his sword decisively, turning to leave. It's been a while. That's what I want for dinner, he orders calmly, leaving everyone stunned and silent. Didn't you have that just a few days ago? Lee-on asks, quickly following him. He throws her a gentle look, eyes softening nostalgically. Internally, he reflects quietly. That was decades ago for me. The next day at dawn, the heavenly demon pavilion stands serene beneath the pale sky. The heavenly demon himself awaits, poised calmly on the bridge outside his pavilion. His powerful gaze shifts as our protagonist arrives, heavily laden with bows, arrows, and various bags. "What's with all those distracting belongings?" the heavenly demon questions sternly. "Essentials for the next few days," our protagonist replies earnestly. "Days?" his father repeats, raising an eyebrow skeptically. "I planned only for today's hunt." "Who knows?" our protagonist counters gently. "You might enjoy hunting enough to stay longer." "An ambitious dream," the heavenly demon remarks dryly, brushing past his son carrying the enormous pack. The scene transitions to a lush forest, filled with towering trees and a gentle mist that blankets the distant mountaintops. Father and son walk silently together, the heavenly demon leading confidently. "You're better than I thought," his father comments suddenly, catching our protagonist off guard. Did he notice that I was hiding skills from my past life during the fight with Goop Young-ho? Our protagonist wonders anxiously, deciding quickly, "It's best to be honest." "Father, I was concealing my abilities," he admits openly. "I notice," the heavenly demon calmly replies without turning. "I'm not a cat that hisses, I'm a beast that hides its claws," our protagonist states confidently. The heavenly demon pauses, turning back with a thoughtful gaze. "Why would a beast hide its claws?" "Ah," our protagonist realizes sheepishly. "I hadn't thought about it that way." "That's why you're a cat," his father remarks pointedly. Continuing through the lush underbrush, the heavenly demon queries, "How much of the Soaring Sword Arts have you mastered?" Recalling the secret technique, our protagonist visualizes himself gracefully performing the Soaring Sword Arts, vibrant blue energy trailing elegantly through the air. "It's a secret martial art passed down only to the heavenly demon's bloodline," he reflects internally. Then, confidently, he states aloud, "I have completely mastered it." Suddenly, with breathtaking speed, a beam of energy streaks past him, narrowly grazing his cheek and slicing through his backpack. Our protagonist freezes, eyes wide with shock and sweat dripping from his brow. "If I hadn't instinctively turned my head, my cheek would be gone." "You've truly mastered it?" the heavenly demon challenges, standing calmly on a fallen log ahead. "You tested me even though you weren't certain," our protagonist retorts indignantly, touching his slightly grazed cheek. "What if I hadn't dodged?" "Then you would have paid the price for lying," his father replies coolly. "If you truly mastered it, dodging would have been effortless." "Even so," our protagonist complains softly, "my face resembles yours. It wouldn't look good with scars." The heavenly demon studies him silently. Internally, he reflects with hidden pride. Completely mastering the technique at his age, impressive indeed. Without further comment, he clasps his hands behind his back and continues walking. Our protagonist, warmed by this silent approval, follows gratefully, quietly thinking, "Thank you, Father." The duo journeys deeper into the vibrant forest. Pausing briefly, the heavenly demon kneels to inspect tracks on the ground. "Who taught you how to hunt, Father?" our protagonist inquires softly. "My older brother," comes the quiet reply. Surprised, our protagonist blurts out, "I had an uncle?" "He died," his father states plainly, adding grimly, "I killed him when I was your age." Shock briefly clouds our protagonist's face, but after a tense silence, he firmly replies, "You did well." The heavenly demon's eyes narrow sharply, darkening with emotion. "Otherwise," our protagonist continues sincerely, "I wouldn't have been born." Both men stand quietly, locked in a profound gaze. Our protagonist silently acknowledges, "Even Father must carry deep wounds from battling his own kin. In my past life, I saw clearly. The stronger someone seems, the deeper their pain." Turning away, the heavenly demon quietly admits, "Back then, I saw no other solution." "I understand," our protagonist softly reassures. Internally, he thinks decisively, "I won't pretend to surpass him. I cannot do what even he could not." He looks toward his father, speaking candidly. "And you already know there's no need for me to even consider that, especially since my brother is cruel and vicious." A dark silhouette with a menacing grin briefly appears in his thoughts. Silence hangs thickly before the heavenly demon quietly comments, "Speaking ill of him behind his back, are you?" A majestic scene unfolds as towering mountains adorned with lush trees stretch towards the heavens. High above, our protagonist and his father gracefully ascend, leaping effortlessly between rocky outcrops toward the summit. Observing his father's powerful figure ahead, our protagonist reflects deeply. In my past life, I never married and never had children. That's why I wonder, what kind of existence was I to my father? Catching up at the mountain's peak, the two men stand side by side in quiet contemplation, gazing into the vast, dense forest spread beneath them. Breaking the silence, our protagonist asks curiously, "Is there something there?" "Our dinner," replies the heavenly demon calmly. "Then we need to kill it," our protagonist responds eagerly. "How do you plan on killing something you can't even see?" his father challenges gently, placing his belongings down and carefully drawing his bow. "First, close your eyes and sense your surroundings," instructs the heavenly demon. Obediently, our protagonist shuts his eyes, focusing intensely as faint blue energy begins radiating softly from his body. Internally, he reflects, martial masters detect opponents through vibrations in the surrounding air, the energy flow of beings. Right now, I only sense one powerful flow, father's. A fierce crimson energy pulses vividly around his father's figure, reminiscent of a demonic force. "Now send your energy out in a single, controlled line," his father instructs. Obeying, our protagonist visualizes himself as a tightly wound ball of yarn, slowly releasing a slender thread of energy. Gradually, his energy line reaches out, touching and sensing something ahead. "I feel it," he announces excitedly. "What do you sense?" his father queries calmly. "A tree," he replies uncertainly. "Keep searching," urges the heavenly demon patiently. Sweat beads on our protagonist's brow as he carefully expands his sensing energy. Suddenly his senses sharpen, clearly revealing a robust, hairy form. Eyes snapping open wide in surprise, he exclaims, "A wild boar, or perhaps a bear?" "It's a wild boar," his father confirms with a nod. Grinning in triumph, our protagonist clenches his fist proudly, then notices his father's knowing gaze. The heavenly demon remarks gently, "Initially, even I couldn't sense accurately at such a distance." "Well," our protagonist boasts playfully, "I'm gifted with a body that masters martial arts quickly. This level is nothing for me," his father responds with a faint, approving smile. That evening, flames crackle warmly under a starlit sky as father and son sit beside their roaring campfire. A succulent boar cooks enticingly nearby. The heavenly demon observes quietly, "When did you learn to prepare hunted game so skillfully?" "I learned from a book," our protagonist replies modestly. "You seem exceptionally skilled for a first attempt," his father remarks thoughtfully. "Glad it appears that way," he responds humbly, secretly thinking, "In my past life, I hunted countless animals to survive." Noticing his father comfortably seated on a luxurious tiger skin rug, he comments warmly, "Carrying all that heavy baggage was worth it to earn your favor." The heavenly demon's gaze sharpens curiously. "Did you choose to hunt with me to impress me or to become my successor?" Rising confidently, our protagonist dusts off his robes. "Neither. I know impressing you won't sway your decision. I'll become successor on my own merit," he declares boldly. "Quite confident, aren't you?" his father remarks, intrigued. "I have two reasons," he continues seriously. "First, I wanted to learn from you and grow stronger. I've already achieved this first goal today." His father regards him quietly, the flickering fire casting deep shadows on his stern face. "And after you become stronger?" "Don't misunderstand," our protagonist clarifies sincerely. "I don't desire your throne. You're strong and healthy. I won't waste my youth chasing your title. It's enough to become your successor and learn the heavenly demon's martial arts." As silence settles comfortably between them, our protagonist gazes thoughtfully at the starry sky, quietly reflecting, "I must master the 9 calamity demonic arts swiftly and surpass them." Even father, who mastered those arts, ultimately fell to Hua Mugi. The heavenly demon's deep voice interrupts gently, "Your second reason?" Smiling warmly, our protagonist admits softly, "I wanted to spend time alone with you. We've never done this before." The heavenly demon pauses, a small, rare smile forming on his lips as he gently advises, "Such sentiments are useless. They'll only get you killed." "Why is it useless?" our protagonist asks softly, breaking the silence. He gazes into the fire and adds, "I get to spend time with the strongest person in the world. If you sing a song, that becomes the world's greatest song. If you drink liquor, it becomes the world's greatest liquor." The heavenly demon simply stares at his son, then turns his gaze toward the dancing flames. The silence between them stretches, heavy but meaningful. "In my past life," our protagonist reflects internally, "I couldn't recall a single warm memory of father. Memories of fear don't count as memories." A vision of the heavenly demon, towering with crimson red eyes glowing ominously, flashes through his mind. "This time, I want something different." His gaze lingers on his father. "But don't misunderstand, father. I'm not doing this for you. It's for me." Dawn paints the horizon in golden hues. "It's dawn," the heavenly demon announces. "Let's go back now." "We're not going anywhere," he continues firmly. "You came out to hunt with the heavenly demon, so before we leave, we need to kill at least a tiger." Tossing his head back, he shouts, "What are you doing? Don't stand there like a dunce. Follow me." "Yes, father," our protagonist responds, hurrying after him with his heavy gear in tow. The scenery shifts to a stunning bamboo forest, the tall stalks swaying gently. "Close your eyes again," the heavenly demon instructs. "Okay," the son replies, obeying immediately. "The target is to the right, 100 yards away. It's farther than last time. Feel the wind this time. Infuse your energy into it." As our protagonist closes his eyes, blue energy begins to swirl gently around him. Internally, he muses, "In all my training, I've never been taught to infuse energy into the wind. There was no one to teach me, and no martial art I've ever heard of teaches this." "Discharge your energy," his father says firmly. The blue energy flows outward, soft but growing stronger. "If you're too slow and delicate," his father adds, "you'll only create a pretty trick. If you want to use it in battle, your energy must reach your target quickly." As the wind and energy begin to intertwine, our protagonist's focus sharpens. "I can feel it, the wind and my energy," he thinks, "but how do I combine them?" Suddenly, understanding dawns. To infuse it into the wind doesn't mean to ride it, it means to entangle it. The swirling energy threads through the bamboo forest, weaving sharply between stalks until it finds its mark, a glowing figure. The energy encircles the shape. It's a tiger. Eyes snapping open, our protagonist stammers, "There really is a tiger." "What's wrong?" his father asks calmly. "Don't get lazy with your training. The more energy lines you can manage, the better your odds of survival." "Understood, father. I'll bear that in mind," our protagonist replies, catching his breath. Later, by another blazing fire, the heavenly demon lifts a wine bottle. "This is my strongest trump card," he says. They sit across from one another. Taking a sip, the heavenly demon remarks, "This is good." "Still a bit strong for me," the son replies, taking a sip himself. "That's a lie," he admits internally. His father smirks knowingly. "No demonic human complains about liquor being too strong," the heavenly demon retorts. "A vicious heart is more important than strong liquor." He leans forward slightly. "Could you kill me? If it meant you could live." The fire crackles between them. "No," our protagonist says aloud. "How could a child kill their parent?" But inside, the truth stirs. That's a lie too. If I had a good enough reason, I would do it, even if it's my own father. He lowers his head. This is the best conversation I've ever had with him. How could I possibly value my own life more than his? "Could you kill me?" the heavenly demon repeats. "If you're hesitant," he warns, "then don't talk about having a vicious heart." Taking another sip of wine, the heavenly demon falls silent. "Then," our protagonist replies softly, staring at the fire, "I'll learn to drink strong liquor too." Flames dance between them as father and son sit quietly, the embers glowing in the night. He came to reconnect, but can he truly walk the path of a demon and a son? to see what secrets still lie between father and son and how far Jeong will go to change his fate. Find out in the next episode. But before you go, don't forget to tap like if you enjoyed the episode, subscribe for more epic recaps, turn on notifications so you never miss a chapter. And with that being said, Manhwa Champions, we're going to bring this video to an end. Thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I will catch you all later. Peace.